Hey guys, here's a little update of what's going on. Rack and pinion's been freshly rebuilt, painted, new bushings installed, inner tie rod ends with dust boots, sway bar's been painted and reinstalled. Cleaned out all the old grease out of the old polyurethane fitting and re-greased it, so now it's good on both sides. Can't really see that one. Eventually I need to replace my oil cooler fittings because they're getting ready to go, but I got some new Boost Tech fittings. That's a full flow 45. I have regular 90s, but I'm gonna up to full flow because I'm running dual oil coolers, running the Dash 10 AN line. Here's what underneath over here at least looks like for now. New tie rod in, dust boot. Waiting for the Heim joints to show up. I just ordered those. The sway bar link I'm not worried about. It's the factory OEM one with the polyurethane insert pressed in, so it's a little bit better, but yet I have the car dropped so low that I need to get a set of 1320 adjustable stainless steel ones. I need to get that for front and rear, and then I can paint the rear sway bar and install it. But before I install the rear sway bar, I gotta actually tap out the bolts, because the bolts actually mount the rear sway bar to the control arm up in there. Right up in there, you see that little tab? The bolt's actually sheared off in it on both sides. So I need to take that out. Drill and tap, take that bolt out, get the adjustable links front and rear, repaint the sway bar, install it. But other than that, the car's been actually running pretty good ever since I flushed the fuel system. This oil has almost 2,000 miles on it. Still clean. It doesn't smell like gas, so like this is a good running engine. It has perfect concealment when it comes to the oil control rings, perfect combustion. I mean, like, this is a good running engine. That's a little update of what's going on, and progress has been made. Eventually I'm going to buy an aluminum bar from Lowe's and make my adjustable camber bar, because the Heim joints that didn't work for my outer tie rod ends that I'm ordered, I'm just going to buy the thread tap and then actually just make it my own custom aluminum rod. It'll cost me about 20 bucks instead of having to pay 80 to 150 for one. So it's a little bit cheaper way, and plus I already have the Heim joints, so I might as well use them. And then once I get that done, wait for the new Heim joints to come in for the front, order a new set of lower ball joints, and then this thing's off to the alignment shop. I might have to get my new tires mounted on it. Order a new set of tires and get them mounted and balanced first, because they have camber wear to them for the fronts and they're not equal. The backs are actually perfect, so if I take them to them now, they can get a rough alignment, but as soon as I get the new set of tires put on it, I automatically got to get the front end realigned. The back end should be straight though. There's no leaks, no nothing. Like, this is a rare thing, a rotary engine that does not leak at all. Ultra rare. No leaks. Besides my stupid AN fittings. Other than that, there ain't no leaks on it. Seems to be pretty good. I'm going to clean the throttle body. I'm going to take the throttle body off, clean it, and then remove this plastic spacer, and I might have to actually open up the ports a little bit more inside here so the flaps can go inside of it and it doesn't come into contact. But after I do that, then I'm going to order a new TPS sensor, because this one has a dead spot when it's supposed to be around idle, and then when you go to full open throttle, hey Gooby, it doesn't go to 500 ohms when it's supposed to. It only goes to about 460 to maybe 480 ohms, so it's not reading full wide open throttle. So I need a new TPS sensor. I'm going to buy a new water temp sensor, because those are used, but they seem to work. They test out right, but I don't trust them, so I just want to get new ones. New water temp sensor right there for the ECU. New air temp sensor right there. And then I'm going to go with the set of AEM gauges and replace all my interior gauges. I'm going to get 2 water temp gauges. They're about 180 bucks a piece. And then I'm going to get a new oil pressure gauge. That's the same price, about 180 bucks. But they're all digital sensor, where these are mechanical, so I don't have to worry about this line being pinched or anything like that, or messing up and not giving me accurate water temps. I don't have to worry about the hard line that's running from my engine to this gauge right here rupturing and then shoot oil throughout my whole car and giving me an oil leak and pretty much killing my engine. And then I have a retard wideband gauge over here. It doesn't give you accurate numbers. It just tells you if you're running lean, running rich, or running okay, but you don't know exactly what the numbers are on it. So I'm going to get a AEM wideband. Plus my fuel pressure, I'm not really too sure if it's dropping at wide open throttle under load, even though I have it cranked up more. So I'm going to get an AEM fuel pressure gauge, and that's going to go inside there. So it's going to be the wideband, the fuel pressure gauge right next to it. I'm going to get 2 new water temps, a new oil pressure gauge, all digital. So it's going to be just like the wideband. You're actually going to have the sweep go across with the numbers like this, but then in the center of it, you're actually going to have a digital number layout. So it'll be a lot nicer. And that's about a $600 investment, but in the long run, it'll be worth it. More accurate, and then when I actually go for a standalone ECU, I already got the gauges that can actually function with the standalone ECU. But I'm actually going to go with the little piggyback unit that is a Power by FC, I believe it is, or it could be Apex, I believe. I'm not too sure. It's on eBay. It's it's $350 for the wiring harness that will go between my ECU and the actual factory wiring harness. Plug in between those two, and then has the set of wires that will go off to like its own like little individual controller that's about the size of a smartphone. And it's kind of like a cheap piggyback unit from the late 90s, early 2000s, but the benefit of it is I can actually increase the duty cycle. I can give it more fuel and take fuel out of it all across the RPM range when it's under load, which the wideband will help me be able to do that. And the other benefit of it is, if I have a glitchy TPS sensor or any sensor on the engine that actually sends information back to the ECU, if it's glitchy or not sending the right information back, it will actually tell me on that little display. It tells you your RPMs, it tells you your water temps, your oil pressure, like it literally tells you everything you need to know. And it's actually all running off the factory sensor, so you don't need to go buy GM map sensor, you don't need to go buy all these GM sensors that in the long run you wind up paying, I don't know, roughly $600 to $800 for, and you still got to drop $1,500 on an aftermarket ECU. I guess pretty pricey. I'd rather just go this route, especially because I'm not boosting. I'm naturally aspirated. It's street ported, and really all I need to do is give it more fuel when it needs it. And when it comes to timing, I just got to adjust it manually. And right now it's actually set at 0 degrees top dead center. Because since this motor is street ported, polished, exhaust ports, air intake, and the whole complete air intake system from the map sensor all the way down to the engine is completely ported out, match ported, polished. Well, it's not necessarily polished, just match ported. But since all that is done on it, you're getting so much air and fuel inside of it that you actually got to retard the timing from 5 degrees after top dead center to 0 degrees after top dead center. Just because it's getting so much more air to fuel, it actually can make up for it and still be able to run. That's like the little secret when you're trying to run a ported engine with factory ECU and factory injectors. And with that little piggyback unit, I'll turn up the secondaries and I'll turn up the primaries, and if I still need more fuel, I can opt for a set of Turbo 2 550 cc's and run them on my secondaries. The ECU won't realize that they're actually changed. It'll still function properly, but since I have the piggyback unit, then I can go through and turn down the fuel if they're getting too much and turn up the fuel if they're not giving enough. So that's a little bit of the plans going for the future. And then after all the suspension and running gear, and like the car is actually good, reliable running, I can daily drive it, get my AC charged again, because I guess I have a leak somewhere. It'll be a simple fix to find. But get the AC charged, get it all fixed, and then I can finally start putting my attention towards the interior. Buy a new carpet kit for $400 that already has the padding on it. So all this old nasty stinky shit's going to be gone. New fresh black carpet, new foam padding underneath. I'm still going to leave all my wrap that I put on it, so it's going to make the actual sound insulation and quality of the car better. I'm going to get fabric dye, continuously re-dyeing the back seats until they're solid. Headliner looks like it's starting to come out blue again, so I'm going to redo another coat on that, and that lasted almost 5 years, but I didn't do that good of a job to begin with. Do the headliner, do the sun visors. Seats and door panels are perfect. My buddy has a dashboard that's in like perfect condition. I'm gonna try to get it from them, because mine has, it's good all across there, but right here it's cracked, and the more you go this way, the scarier it gets. Dun dun dun. Literally what's holding up this whole gauge pod right here, I took the Turbo 2 hood scoop. If you have a Turbo 2, you'll notice there's a little gasket on the inside with the metal ring. I actually took that metal ring, split it into a quarter, so there's a piece about that long running across right here, and it goes up, goes all the way across right here. There's one bolt, there's the other bolt, there's the next bolt, goes all the way down, and then comes back around right here. So these still bolts up in their factory position, so it still holds up like the way it's supposed to. But yet, the dash mat hides it all. So underneath this, it actually looks nice and clean and perfect the way it's supposed to be. So eventually I'm going to get a new dashboard and redo everything else for the interior. Get a new S5 console, because the people that had this car before me obviously chewed the crap out of it. So I need to replace that. I'm going to get a new S5 center console with an actual manual, because this is from an automatic. You can kind of see like where the bracket got broken off. This was for an auto, but it fit this better than the actual dust boot that I had for it. So I'm going to get a new whole complete set right here. Then I'm going to get the matching door or shift boot that matches the door panels with the red stitch. I'm going to try to find the actual mirror or the sun visors that have the red stitch that go across right here. If I can't find them, then I'll just re-dye these and then send these out to an upholsterer shop and just have them do the red stitch in it. Same thing with the back seats. Just have them redo this red stitch in the center of it, because the back seat's still in pretty good condition. The carpet kit will come with all the new back stuff. It'll come with all that. So that's literally just going through, touching up all the plastic interior pieces with it's from AutoZone. It's called bumper spray. You can get it in satin black, and if you get satin black, that's where it has that sheen like OEM. But you can tell I kind of like went too heavy, got wrinkles on and stuff. So I'm actually going to go through, sand all these down, get rid of all the orange peel, and then repaint them black. And eventually the whole inside will look brand new after that. I've been finding all the little clips and pieces that are missing. There's still like a little plastic clip that goes around here I'm missing, I'm going to get. But other than that, I've pretty much been collecting almost every interior piece that's been missing. I got this piece that goes across, but with the new dashboard, hopefully it has the brackets right there and right there for it. And then I can put another speaker right in here. And then I can drop another speaker in right here. So I'll have tweeters in the dashboard, 3.5 inch speakers right here. The 6.5s I have right there, plus the 3.5s I have right here on both sides. And then when I make my custom fiberglass boxes with my 2.8s, those will actually be inside here. Because once you remove this actual ring with all the plastic clips from the inside of this, an 8-inch subwoofer fits all the way across for perfect inside here, and where the actual like flex ring is, but all the way up perfect inside here. Like you have a 1mm or 2mm gap all the way around this from the actual flex ring of the subwoofer to this, so it looks like it was OEM from the factory that way. I just got to make the custom fiberglass box to fit inside there. And then once I do that, I'll have two little 8s, do a Scar Audio, two Scar Audio 8-inch shallow subs to get the Scar Audio 5-channel amp, run it all the way across the back of the seat. These are all kickers. I kind of want to keep them, but at the same time, if I'm going Scar Audio back there with the amp, I might as well buy these speakers for $43. Buy those ones for, I think, no, those ones are $36. Those ones are $46. The tweeters will be $20. Another set of those will be $34. So just run all that with the crossovers, and this thing will have a fucking better stereo system than most newer modern luxury cars. Mainly just because I have all that heat wrap inside of it, so all the vibrations and like all the frequencies you don't want to hear get absorbed by that padding, because I have it throughout the headliner, the door panels, like everywhere. All the frequency and noises you don't want to hear get absorbed to where all the nice crisp sounds actually you hear. I noticed once I installed it, I got to kick the bass knob up more before I can actually start feeling the bass. But by the time you start feeling the bass, you're not only feeling it, everyone outside's feeling it too. And it sounds like a damn theater in here. Let me see, I gotta retouch up that. That one needs to be retouched up. But it's a little update of what's going on. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe.